Greetings, blessed love, and a mighty royal welcome to my channel. This is I Am Life and Light Productions. Just Sparks. I am your host. I pray each and every eye is up full and bright this day and living in the light of the mind. Yes, royal family, we do give thanks to life and almighty life giver. Holy I am my Father in heaven. Yes, royal family. I pray every house is full of peace, joy, and love, and splendor, and harmony. We do give thanks, Royal is life, Life is royal. Yeah, man, and we give thanks for the beauty of life, said we, Yeah, man, today just come for reason a little about the African Americans and Africans in America, and, the whole thing about the importance of Africa. You see it? Because I really overs what the African Americans or the Africans in America is saying when it comes to, they have claims to the country. They have claims to the land because the America that we know today was built on the backs, on the blood, sweat, and tears of enslaved Africans. It was built by force. And at the same time, Africa was destroyed by force. You see? So I do overs what the African Americans them are speaking about. They're saying that, our ancestors, worked hard on this land and built what we see today as a thriving economy. You see it? And we deserve dibs in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I overs that, man. And I overs that, there was Africans living here before the pilgrims them came. You see it? But what we must overs is not because Africans were living in America before the pilgrims came, mean that America is the indigenous land of the Africans. We got to continue to realize the name, Africans, and the reason why they are called Africans, because we're from the land of Africa. You see it? And not America. The people of the Americas is the Aztecs and the Mayans, the Indians. You see it? Similar to the Africans, but yet they are the Indians. You see it, my people? So we must realize these things. And when the pilgrims them came over to the America, where we know as the United States of America, and they met the Indians and the Africans there. And they realized that free man will not subject themselves to slavery. So they had to kill out the people them on the land. And they had to bring people on the land as slaves to work the land and do as they say. And this is what was done during the slave trade, where Africans was stolen from Africa and brought to the Americas to work on plantations and work to build their cities and everything. Because remember, when they abolished slavery, one of the problems that they had was that most of the white people, the Caucasians they did not have skills. And it's only the Africans that had the skills. And they realized that it's only the Africans that will get the jobs. So they had to create unions and all these other things to ensure that the Caucasians get work. You see it, my people? And from there, they started to train the Caucasians so that they could now work in the work field because slavery is abolished. So we got to remember our history coming through and where we are today, You see it, my people. You know? So the land of America is actually the land of the Aztecs and the Mayans them. You see it? And that land was not highly populated because, as we can see, there is no set of vegetation that can be done all the year round to keep an highly populated community of people there in what we would call the United States of America, especially during winter time. You know, so we got to overs all these things. We got to overs the dark ages, 500 AD to 1500 AD. What was going on during that time? How they destroyed Africa during that time. And there is hardly any history about it. You see it, my people. So when today you hear one saying to look to Africa, you see it? Africa is home. It's a reason. It's a reason for it. You see? Yeah. When we say look to Africa, it's a reason. Because America land is basically barren land. You can only plant there for a certain time during the year. And with the amount of people that is on the land now, the food that will be planted there would not supply them for the whole year round for everyone. All the things them that they need, all the resources that they need to keep the cities them in America going. They do not have the resources of their own to keep it going. And that is why they have their hands in Africa. They have their hands in the Middle East. They have their hands in South America, where more of the resources, the natural resources and wealth are. You see it, my people. Don't look at the wealth that you see in America, you know. That is no wealth, you know. That is debt. It's not wealth. It's debt. The capitalistic system is based off of debt. When you move out of Africa, and when you move out of America and you start to go into Africa and these places them, you realize that all the things them that the Africans them own, they bought it. They don't have no credit system here, no debt system here. What you see they have, they own. It's theirs. Different from America. So the African Americans or the Africans living in America must understand these things. Must understand the type of society, type of system that you all are living in. That if the system decides to cut off food, water, heat, what would you all do? Especially in the time of winter. What would the eyes them do? You see it? And the eyes them is fighting for rights in a country where the people them who set up the country, who established the country, came from another country on a land, kill out the people on the land, take over the land, bring workers by force, build up their country, and then now you, the workers who was used to build up the country, is now fighting for peace of the country, and you think they will give it to you without a fight? Yeah, it will be a big fight, a big war in America if Africans in America want to claim it as their own. There will be a big war, yes. You know what I'm saying? A big, big, big war. And the eyes them must over that. You see it? And pay close attention to Africa and what is going on in Africa now. Look at President Traore and Burkina Faso. Look at Mali. Look at Niger. Look at Somalia, Kenya, all joining forces. to bring this United States of Africa. Wouldn't it be good if I and I in the West, the African Americans who we call ourselves, would have a foothold in Africa during this time when this is being established? Just food for thought, because the time is always now, and the best day is always today. You see it, my people. So pay close attention to what is going on. Pay close attention to what the President of America is saying when he say he wants to make America great. Remember, during the time when His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie, was alive and well in the flesh. And he came to America and visited America, and he made speeches regarding America and stated that America is one of the great economic strongholds in the world. You know what I'm saying? And we got to understand, during that time, when that was said, when America was great at her highest, what was going on in America? You see, there was high racism and prejudice in America at that time. And that was America at her highest point. You see it, my people. Now, your president is saying that he wants to make America great again, like those times. You see? So, pay close attention. You see? Remember 2019, the president of Ghana, who was president at the time, I don't remember his name, he had issued that 2020 was going to be the year of the return. And he opened the gates for repatriates to come back to Ghana and to receive their citizenships. You see? What happened? COVID. And the whole place was locked down. I want the eyes them to really pay close attention. You see? And then after that now, it seems like everyone's attention has been turned right forward to America. You see? They have to worry about surviving in America. You see? They ain't no longer thinking about Africa and trotting to Africa. And Africa is that great wealthy continent. You know what I'm saying? That all the leaders of the world have their hands in the cookie jar. They're not concerning themselves about that. They're just worried about what America is presenting before their eyes. The glimmer and the glimmer and all the, how I would say, illusionary lights and illusionary distractions before the eyes them. You see that it seems like the eyes them is not overseeing what is actually going on in America right now. You see it, my people. They have the eyes them so distracted, so caught up in the system and what they're doing in the system that the eyes them is not able to see the way out. Pay close attention. You know what I'm saying? So when I is sounding the trumpet to look forward to Africa, take heed, because Africa is the land of milk and honey, the land where mostly all the natural resources and wealth are, the land where all the other world leaders want to occupy and have as their own. Look what is going on with France right now, just by Burkina Faso, kicking them out. Look at their economy. Look what is going on in the country. Pay close attention, my people. It's the eyes them who is keeping America up. You see? Enough Rastas them chanting fire upon America. And it's them who keeping America up by being there. You see? So we got to pay close attention, man, and be true to what we're saying we are. You know what I'm saying? If you say we're Africans living in America, then no say you have a homeland. Africa. You know what I'm saying? And look at this too. I want to point this out. Look at the Europeans them that came to Africa, right? And they started the apartheid down there and they take over land now that they have the land now that you see them all over the internet right now, right? Look at them, right? They're claiming that though their forefathers came by force and took the land and murdered out the people that was there, they have by right now, since they are the descendants of them and they were born on the land, they have right to the land. It's the same thing that is going on in America with the African Americans, you know. You know what I'm saying? But it's a little bit different. The African Americans were the encaptured, you know, slaves, you know what I'm saying? But over here in South Africa, these people them were the colonizers who were trying to come and colonize Africa. But in any sense, look at what they're calling themselves. You don't see them call themselves European Africans. They call themselves Africans. Yes, right? Now the eyes them is over there in America and is not calling you yourselves Americans. But you all are calling yourselves African Americans. Why put Africa first before the Americas if you love, or I wouldn't say love, if you would rather be an American than an African? You know, just food for thought, you know, for the eyes them to just, you know, reason within the eyes themselves about, you know, understand history and how things happen, you know, and why Africa is the way it is, you know. Africa was pillaged. The people them of Africa was murdered out for 1,000 years. You see it? And the remainder who tried to get away, they was taken captive and brought across to the Americas. And then remember what happened in the Americas, you know, during the time when stolen Africans was brought over to the Americas, you know, and to the Caribbean, you know, and to Brazil and those places, Venezuela and them places there, you know. Remember what happened, you know, that when those Africans, stolen Africans came over, they was very rebellious, you know, and the slave master them couldn't control them, you know. So they had to come up with a method of change where they can stop these things from happening, stop this rebellion. So what they decided to do, they decided to create Uncle Tom's Cabin, where they started to breed the people them. You see it? Breed the Africans them. And when they breed them, and they kill out all their parents, all of them, they remove them from their parents or kill them out. I didn't think they killed them out. Yes, right? Yeah, man. So, over is Uncle Tom's Cabin that they used to start to breed the slaves them, you know, to work in America because of the rebellion that was happening when they was bringing over the captured slaves them or the captured Africans them. Yes, right? And through Uncle Tom's Cabin now is where we start to lose our history and heritage. Yes, right? Because before that, all the Africans them that was stolen taught their children them who they were and where they came from, their family name, and was teaching them the language. And these were the things them that they wanted stopped. And that's why they created Uncle Tom's Cabin. Yes, right? And they stopped us from learning and reading and all these kind of things. You see it, my people? So we really got to overs what we are deal with. And when it comes to America, yes, right? And Africa, yes, right? Now, America was built by force. Africa was destroyed by force. When will I and I in the West realize that it's by force we must leave America and build Africa? Yes, people. So we must overs. Africa is the sure place for success. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is work, you know. You see it. The building of Africa will not wait. You know? Come, you warriors. You know what I'm saying? You soldiers over there in America. You know what I'm saying? Who claim that you want to fight for freedom. Come. Come to Africa. Come join President Traore and Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger. You know, come join in and do your works. You know? That your works can be seen. You see it, my people. You know? Yeah, man. The time is now. The great move is now. The great change is happening now. Don't miss out. Don't lose out on your chance to have foundation here. Remember Africa. Remember the land that makes the world rich. Remember the resources here. Remember the wealth. Yes, the wealth is in the land. The gold and the diamonds and the bauxite and the rubber and everything else that they come here, the cola, rock, or everything that they come here for. It is all here. The oil, the gas, everything there. You see it, my people. Yes, and Africa have enough to sustain herself. You see it? And to give after that. You see it, my people. You know? So, it's just about choices, you know, the right judgments, you know. You know what I'm saying? Create the right experiences, you know. You know? And we really must overs these things, you know. You know? So, we really got to consider where we're calling home. You see it? Consider the system that we're living in. You see it? Is it healthy for us? Or is it toxic for us? You see it, my people. And if it's toxic, find a place where it's healthy. You see it, my people. You can't live healthy in a toxic environment or a toxic society. You cannot live healthy there. You see it? So I and I need to really consider and seek to create our own communities, communities of our own. Look, every time it was done in America, look what they did. They break it down. They burn it down. They kill out the people. You see it, because they're showing that they do not want anyone else to have rule in the country that they have made. When would we realize that we have rights to Africa? Our ancestors came from there. We must know the history of Africa, that the cradle of civilization, and how Africa spread it out across the whole globe. That from Africa, the Africans them traveled the whole globe. So yes, you will find us everywhere. But we are from Africa. And we must be proud. You know what I'm saying? And say it with pride. That we are Africans. We are not black people. We're not a color. We're not a marker. You know what I'm saying? We're not a crayon. We are Africans or Alkibulans. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's there. And that's where we need to bring it there. Remember our ancestors. You see it? Remember the ancestors upon whose backs America was built. Where did they want to be? They did not want to be in America. Many of them who was stolen and brought to the West was crying and heartbroken, wanting to go back home. Where do you all stand today? Are you all crying and heartbroken in this freedom that you have to leave America and go back home to pay homage to your ancestors them? You know, I really, really, these is things them that, I man does just med spun, and I just try and see if I man can overs within myself, why the eyes them, is so caught up in America, and it's just because of the development of America, you know what I'm saying? And that Africa is not developed, Africa is underdeveloped. So they, the eyes them is seeing Africa as less, you know what I'm saying? As something that, is a step down to America. But I will ensure you, any one of the eyes them leave from America and come to Africa, you will realize it's a step up. Because wherever you living in America, when you come here to Africa, what you will get with that money, yeah, what you will get with that money is beyond what you will ever get in America. You see it, my people. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, the eyes them overs who are going, man. Who are going in the earth, man. You see it. Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. Don't forget Marcus Messiah Garvey, man. Don't forget the works, man. Don't forget the mission that he was on, man. Don't forget Malcolm X and his mission, to separate and to go back to Africa, where we can build our own African community. You see it, amongst our own people. You see it, and we now have to fight a next man for a land, for a country that he has established for himself. Leave his country, leave him to him. When we leave his country, you will see how quickly it falls. And that's all it is, Leave from Babylon, leave from the America land, leave from Europe. There is so much land in Africa. You remember they say how much and how much millions of people get murdered in Africa, during the crusades and, these people them, Remember, So if it's so much millions and millions of people get murdered, how much acres and acres of free land it have that is not occupied, vacant land? Remember the size of Africa, Each eye in America, in Europe, in the West, in the Caribbean, who desire to come here, add all of you all up, and you all won't be able to fill Africa. Trust me. You see it? So come home. Africa is home. Come home. Africa awaits her creators. We be her creators. You see it? The wealth is here. You see it? It's all about building. It's all about industries. Development. So bring home, die them, money them, and come build. And set up your foundation here. You see it? Yeah. And turn the things around. And stop with America for the African Americans. No. Yeah, man. America is for the Aztecs and the Mayans them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Mexicans them. The Hondurians them. The whole of them go down that line down there. You see it? And we must overs these things. And we must overs where even America get her name from. You see it? Overs where America get her name from. Look it up and you will see for yourself. So, until such time, my people, we do give thanks for each and every eye who listening with eye and tuning and reason and, put the eyes, them comment and like and share. We give thanks, More love and blessings to each and every household out there. Whole I am.